welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're a busy executive, a founder, or a leader trying to aggressively scale up, you've probably hit that wall, right? The one where simply working harder just isn't moving the needle anymore. Well, today we're unpacking a fascinating framework based on the leverage shift. We're going to completely deconstruct that restrictive, traditional, cost-saving mindset that so many financial gurus preach and show you how to fundamentally upgrade your executive output. We're talking about achieving unprecedented business leverage through calculated strategic upgrades that you absolutely must make the second you hit a baseline of financial stability. To scale to that next level, we kind of have to start by flipping the script. Now, you might be used to advice telling you to, skip the daily coffee, don't buy the nice shoes, basically live like a monk. But here's the thing. Once you've actually established a solid financial baseline, hoarding your capital actively stops your growth. If you keep operating with this saving pennies mentality, you literally become the primary bottleneck in your own business. You're the ceiling. The new paradigm we're looking at today is buying leverage. It's about taking your capital and actively using it to buy back your time, your operational bandwidth, and your health. You are essentially buying your own freedom to scale. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is the systemic roadmap we're covering today. First, financial and asset leverage. Second, operational and knowledge leverage. Third, human and biological leverage. And finally, the ultimate ROI. Starting with Section 1, financial and asset leverage. Let's look directly at the bottom line and how you should be deploying your capital. When it comes to investing, basic index funds are fantastic for building that initial foundation. For sure, it's the standard, reliable playbook. But true leverage? That requires moving beyond the basics once you have capital you can afford to risk. You really need to start looking at asymmetric returns. We're talking calculated plays on individual stocks or acquiring tangible alternative assets. Things like classic cars, fine wine, art, luxury watches. You get to physically enjoy these things while they silently work for you in the background. It's about diversifying into leverage that appreciates, turning your lifestyle choices into highly effective financial instruments. The next massive financial upgrade is your accounting infrastructure. Step 1, outgrow the small pond. You absolutely never want accounting systems or financial professionals, for that matter, built for where you currently are. You need them built for where you are going. Step 2 is implementing all-in-one business management platforms. And Step 3, automate your invoicing and balance sheets. Why does this matter so much? Because knowing your exact profit margins at any given second without wasting countless administrative hours tracking them manually is a massive point of leverage. It entirely frees up your cognitive load so you can focus on high-level strategy instead of, low-level data entry. All right, moving on to pillar number 2, operational and knowledge leverage. Let's see how this builds into multiplying your daily output. So I want you to seriously ask yourself right now, what is your effective hourly rate? To figure this out, take your annual income and mathematically divide it by the total hours you work in a year. Got that exact number in your head? Good, because knowing this specific figure is the absolute golden key to unlocking your next massive level of operational leverage. Let's just do the math on this. Say your effective hourly rate is $40 an hour. Now, the average person spends hours every single week cleaning, cooking, doing laundry, the whole shebang. If a professional cleaner costs $15 an hour and you're spending your time scrubbing floors or folding clothes yourself, you aren't saving $15. You are actively losing $25 an hour. You're hemorrhaging money that could and absolutely should be going directly into building your business. You must buy your time back. The math simply does not support you doing your own chores. And this brilliantly illustrates how you upgrade your operational knowledge and toolset. Instead of relying on traditional schooling, which inevitably sets a ceiling on your potential, you upgrade to free, long-form interviews to get direct access to the top 1% of minds. You swap generic business advice for biographies of unconventional founders. You're absorbing decades of brutal trials and triumphs in just a few hours. You trade physical labor for high-income digital skills, like building scalable AI automation workflows that literally print money for businesses while you sleep. And finally, upgrade your workspace tools. Better cameras, faster laptops, premium software. If your business is a money printing machine, these aren't expenses, right? They're vital upgrades that multiply the quality of your output, allowing you to easily justify premium rates. Okay, on to the third pillar, human and biological leverage. We're framing your physical health and relationships as critical business infrastructure. Choose team players, not liabilities. Now, this is probably the most controversial point in the source material we're looking at, but honestly, it is a cold, hard fact for any executive. Your life partner is the single biggest variable in your financial success. Building a lasting legacy requires intense, relentless sacrifice. So the crucial takeaway here is that a supportive partner who actively shares your financial goals statistically boosts your net worth. On the flip side, a partner who drains your energy or resents those late-night strategy sessions will actively tank your success. It's a pretty profound reminder that who you choose to build a life with is the ultimate form of leverage. Let's talk about the physical infrastructure supporting you right now. Ergonomics. I know, it sounds like the most boring corporate buzzword imaginable. But as a modern executive, you're spending thousands of hours sitting down at a desk. If you don't invest early in a high-quality, fully supportive office chair, you are risking your primary asset, yourself. If your back gives out from thousands of hours of poor posture, your earning potential doesn't just dip, it drops to absolute zero. You have to proactively protect your physical capacity to work long-term. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the stark reality it shows. Severe sleep deprivation completely ruins your decision-making abilities, dragging them down to the exact same level as being legally drunk. No way, right? But it's true. You simply cannot build a business empire making drunk decisions. You might think pulling back-to-back all-nighters makes you a dedicated founder, but biologically, it just makes you a liability. Hard work is crucial, but rest is what keeps you sharp enough to actually enjoy the payoff. This is exactly why investing in sleep optimization, using health wearables to meticulously track your daily recovery, is a non-negotiable executive upgrade. Aggressively protect your sleep window to protect your judgment. Finally, Section 4, the ultimate ROI. Let's redefine what true wealth actually buys you once that money machine is optimized. When you start making real money, it is incredibly easy to fall into the trap of accumulating physical objects. A new phone, a luxury bag, designer shoes. They give you a quick, fleeting spike of dopamine. But within weeks, that item just becomes standard. It gets outdated, the thrill is gone, it depreciates. True wealth, the ultimate ROI, is spent on experiences. The memories forged from building a business from the ground up, the perspective you gain from traveling the world, those deep, hours-long conversations with your personal heroes, those never go out of date. They don't depreciate, they permanently shape who you are and elevate your perspective as a leader. Which leaves us with one final vital question. What leverage will you buy back today? Now that you understand the true mechanics of the leverage shift, it's time to stop hoarding, stop saving pennies, and start actively investing in your time, your health, and your systems. Take a hard look at your operations, pinpoint those friction points in your day, and get curious about how you can redesign your systems for maximum output. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I highly encourage you to take at least one piece of leverage from today's analysis and go implement it into your business right now.